Hi YouTube, I'm Anna here from Welp Makes. We're going to record episode 42. Wow. Okay. Alright, ready?
Mm-hmm.
Good morning and welcome to the Good Bytes by Chicago Foodie Sisters radio show and podcast. This food-focused show highlights the people that bring delicious food to us, some of the food happenings in Northwest Indiana and beyond, and the ways that food brings us together. I'm Carrie Steinweg and I'm your host. I'm co-founder of the Chicago Foodie Sisters food blog and author of Unique Eats and Eateries of Indiana from Reedy Press. My next book, Unique Eats and Eateries of Illinois, will be published in October. This show is brought to you by Albano's in Valparaiso. Thanks to Pasta Daddy Nick Albano for his support. Our intro music is provided by the talented Vernell Scott. And thanks to podcast production assistant Eli Geyer for uploading the shows to podcast platforms so that you can listen in whenever you'd like. The show airs Mondays at 8 a.m. with a rebroadcast on Saturday at 2 p.m. on WVLP 103.1 FM with a live stream at wvlp.org. You'll also find the show on several podcast platforms, including Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And you can view video of this interview on Chicago Foodie Sisters YouTube channel and Good Bytes by Chicago Foodie Sisters Facebook page. So before I chat with today's guest, Anna Kopcha, I wanted to share some of my recent Good Bytes. And so first, my husband and I spent a few days at the Lake House and Cabana in Bass Lake near Knox. It's a cozy little Airbnb with an awesome lakeside property that includes a fishing cove and has an old bait shop shed that was converted into a cool party space. And one of the things that I love about this place is all the food that is stocked in the kitchen when you stay there. Lots of Trader Joe's goodies.
Oh.
So I have a field day there. It's so cool. They have a basket of snacks on the counter when you arrive, and there's more munchies in the fridge. Cabinets are stacked with lots of seasonings, sauces, and condiments, so if you're going to cook, there's nice a lot of stuff to add. Yeah, that's very nice. I mean, most places you stay, you're lucky if you get bottled water.
Yeah.
And maybe a mint on the pillow. But they even have like some pasta and crackers and just a few other things that would enable you to make like a light meal if you needed to. So yeah, and it was our second time staying there, and the food seemed to be pretty different from last time, so she rotates it out a bit. So it's nice even just as a repeat guest to have some variety the second time.
Something new.
Yeah, and on the counter they do like a s'mores kit basket, so they have cute stuff in there too.
I love that.
You know, the graham crackers and marshmallows and Hershey's to make s'mores in the fire pit that they have on the edge of the property right by the water. And then they also had a tray with all of the ingredients to make these viral sushi bites that have been like all over social media. Like you use an ice cube tray and put rice and then like seaweed sheets you put on top, and then I think she had like tuna or salmon and a pouch just to add on top, and like these cute little bites. So she said she's doing that, like she gets these recipes on TikTok and has a Lake House favorites, so each time you check in there's a different thing there that with all the ingredients and like a little card or instructions. So
that's really cute.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's pretty cool for an Airbnb.
Yeah, keeping it fresh.
One morning for breakfast we had brought ingredients for some meals, but we added a little bit of what they had there. So they had like some yogurt and some pancake mix. My husband made pancakes, and then I had brought bacon and some fruit, and so it was a nice meal to put together with some of the extras they had there. So I've never stayed at a place that was stacked with food like that was included in your stay, so it's a really neat feature.
Yeah, me either.
So look them up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and on Airbnb. It's called the Lake House and Cabana. It's on Bass Lake near Knox, Indiana. And then, so after checkout, we drove over to Culver, which is not too far, because I've been wanting to try the Lucretia location that's out there. So I love the locations in Chesterton and Crown Point. and found out when I got there the Culver location has the same menu. If not exact, it was very similar. So, which is great because one thing they have that I love is a pasta flight.
Okay.
So I always love flights because I like sampling
Yeah,
different
you can
bites
try
of stuff.
different things,
Yeah,
yeah.
so they had that on the menu there. We ended up getting the chicken marsala,
Oh.
which was amazing. That sauce was the best, and it was so good with over angel hair
Yeah.
and squash, and yeah, very very good. And it's in a cute downtown location, so not far from Lake Max. How do you say the full? I think it's Max and Cookie. Max and Cookies, something like that. So Lake Max, it's right near Lake Max. And then there's some nice walking and biking trails right by the lake. So if you're a fan of the other Lucretia locations, be sure to try out the one in Culver as well. And then last Friday, my sister Becky, who's the other half of Chicago Foodie Sisters, we went downtown for afternoon tea at the Walnut Room in Macy's on State Street.
Okay.
And so people flock there around the holidays when they have the great tree and everything.
Yeah.
And so it's always fun to be there around the holidays when it's all decorated and everything. But it's also very nice to go off season when it's just very quiet and chill and you don't have to wait, a huge line to get in. So that was nice. I made they do require reservations, but we got seated really easy. Wasn't busy.
Good.
And their afternoon tea, it dates back to 1893, so this has been a long time tradition. But they suspended it for quite a few years. I think it went away during COVID and they just hadn't brought it back yet. So this year they reintroduced it.
Love that.
And yeah, so that's always so cool just to dine in the Walnut Room because it's such an iconic place. And it's Macy's, but it'll always be Marshall Fields to me. So. And then I have to say that as far as tea service goes, this is one of the most reasonably priced that I've come across, even between the suburbs and the city.
Okay.
It's $45.
Yeah, that's very reasonably priced.
Yeah, because and all the labor that goes into all these little teeny.
Yeah, cakes and desserts
Uh-huh.
and sandwiches,
Yeah, so for what you're getting, it's a very reasonable price. I haven't had any that have been close to that price for like the amount of food and the variety that you got.
Yeah.
So it came on the 3-tiered tower on these beautiful spode flowery dishes that they have. So yeah, it was very pretty. You got the savories on the bottom and then 2 tiers of sweets, as well as another platter of mini scones and fruit with cream. So it was a lot of food.
Good.
And my favorite item for tea, when I go to tea, is always the cucumber sandwiches.
Okay, those are good.
I love it. And it's like, I try to make some at home they just never, I don't know what I did wrong, but they're okay, but they're never as good as when I get them at a tea house. Theirs was very good and it was really pretty. It was like slivered cucumbers on the outside, on the top of the bread, like in a pretty design.
Okay.
And like a cream cheese blend in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was very good. And then they also had a really good chicken salad sandwich. And really liked that. And then also a caprese sandwich. So good stuff. And my 11-year-old niece was with us. And she only had eyes for the cheesecake bites and the tartlets and the other sweet stuff. So I struck up a deal with her to trade her my sweets for an extra cucumber and chicken salad sandwich. So that worked out good for me.
Right.
I preferred, the sweet stuff was good too, but I always like the savory the best. So you had a choice of teas. I got the Clear Heart white tea, which I enjoyed. They also have other stuff you can add on mimosas, and they have a mimosa flight. I was watching someone at the other table that had one, and it was all, I don't know what juices they were using, but it was so pretty, the contrast of the colors with the different juices. So yeah. So for the price point, you get quite a bit. Everything was good. Reservations required, and they only do it on Fridays and Saturdays from 1 to 5 p.m. So I would absolutely go again. And shout out to Jen Stockton for letting me know that this tea experience was available again at the Walnut Room. And then if you go, also be sure to take a walk around the 7th floor. They have an exhibit on the Marshall Fields holiday window displays that they do at Christmas. So they have an exhibit with all these different
displays and stuff.
Yeah,
that's really awesome.
It is really cool. And they had like a whole wall too, like this old walnut that had been in the store at one time, but they had gotten from Europe. It dates back to like the 1600s.
Oh,
It's
Okay.
yeah, they've got some really cool stuff there. And then also we walked over by where the food court is, and they had just put the Great Flag out on display, which it's a Marshall Field's tradition that began in 1916, and they have this giant 5,000 square foot American flag that they hang from the 7th floor, and then it extends all the way down to the top of the 1st floor. So it's like,
Wow.
that's how big it is. It like goes down, covers six floors, hanging from the 7th floor there. So very cool. It's a 900-pound flag that they bring out each year just before Memorial Day and hang it, and then it kind of stays for the summer season, and they take it down around Labor Day. So
Okay.
yeah, so if you're there, pop over and look up, or go to the 7th and look down, and very cool. One other thing I want to mention about that trip to Macy's is I discovered a new clothing store that I love that's right across the street called Primark.
Okay.
And it's a company that originated in Ireland in 1969 and expanded to the US in 2015, and now it's in 19 different countries.
Wow.
But it's nice. It feels like quality stuff that's in there, but it's very inexpensive. Like there were dresses for like $14
What?
in Chicago.
In
I know, isn't that
Chicago?
crazy? And like tops as low as like $4.
What?
I got a cute purse for $14. They had
Okay.
wristlets for $4. I mean, it was, yeah,
That's crazy.
it is.
In Chicago.
Yeah, in Chicago. Yeah. So very cool place. We're checking out if you're in that area. I don't know how new that store is. I mean, I never noticed it before. I just went, my sister was with me, and we stopped in there to do some shopping, and she said she has a friend from Australia that visits once in a while. And when they were downtown, her friend from Australia said, "Oh, we need to stop at Primark." And Becky had never heard of it, but they went in and shopped there, and
Okay.
yeah, so my sister brought me over there.
Yeah.
So
She's like, you gotta see these prices. It's crazy.
yeah, I know, it is, yeah. And then and I think she had only been on the 1st floor before and didn't realize the 2nd floor is all kids clothes too.
Oh wow.
So I didn't know they had a kids, or she didn't know they had a kids section, but we went up and had my niece with us, so of course she had to
Yeah.
pick out some stuff, so.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so yeah, and then the next day I was back in Chicago. My friend Christy has season tickets to the Chicago Sky women's basketball team, and she was out of town and offered me her tickets. So I went to my first professional women's basketball game, which was very exciting.
How was it?
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool. Yeah, it's a nice venue. Yeah, and I just hadn't been to one before, so that was really exciting.
Something new.
Yeah. So we went to the game, and then afterwards we went across the street to one of my favorite pizza places, Pisano's.
I've not been.
Yeah, I just went there for the first time last year. I was on a Chicago pizza tour, a bus tour
Yeah.
of some different pizza spots, and we went to one, I think it's over like by Jewelers Row, the one that they had taken us to.
Okay.
So I was so excited when we got to the Chicago Sky game, and I was like, there's a Pisano's location across the street. So we had to go get pizza afterwards. They have a really good, I love like thin, really crunchy crust, and that's what they have there for their thin.
Okay.
They also do a good deep dish. They're actually, it's like a connection to the Malnati family,
Okay.
who is known
Yeah.
for their deep dish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I think their recipe is pretty similar.
Okay.
So they have a really good deep dish too, but yeah, I love to get the thin crust one on there. So
Bit of a crunch in your bite. I like it.
yes, for sure. Yeah, and they have a cool history, and they have lots of cool photos, historic photos, Chicago photos on the mall and stuff. So it's neat to look around. But yeah, so I don't know. I went and ate some more stuff. I'm gonna stop there though and save the rest for the next show so that we can get to our guest. So today we have Anna from Welp Makes. She's a local baker on this show with us today. Did I say Welp Bakes? Welp Makes.
Yeah, same thing, I guess.
Want to get it right. Okay, so Anna opened Welp Makes, her home-based bakery, only a year ago, but she's been baking since she was a kid, turning her kitchen into a sort of laboratory, and it's named after her gamer name. Welp Makes, where butter, flour, and a little bit of chaos come together to make bagels, focaccia, cinnamon rolls, and cookies that just might make you want to come back for more. She's based right here in Valparaiso, and everything is made fresh from scratch. I've had your stuff. It's very, very yummy.
Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for being here today. I'm so excited to have you here and hear about your breads and sweet business. And
I'm excited to be here.
yeah, thanks for coming out. So you've only been up and running for a year,
Yeah,
so,
Yeah,
and it's taken off.
sure has.
Yeah, so tell us how it all happened, tell us.
Yeah, so I went to college for engineering, and then
Okay.
COVID happened, and
Okay.
then I couldn't afford to live in Arizona anymore, so I came back and lived with my parents. And I
Okay,
bounced around from job to job, realizing that, unfortunately, I'm chronically ill, that I shouldn't be working certain jobs. So I was like, what can I do from home? And no remote jobs were hiring me. Applied to probably 200 at this point. So I was like, what can I do from home? And I was like, I could probably actually like listen to all of the comments I've gotten over the years and actually sell the baked goods that I make, right? I've had too many people be like, oh my God, these are so good, you should sell these. Okay. I was like, you know what? I can actually do that. I'm gonna, look at, the markets locally, see what people are selling, see what's actually selling out. And also like make sure that I'm not encroaching on anyone's territory, right? I know that some bread makers are like, oh my God, that's my territory. Or I've gotten dirty looks from certain cookie bakers, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I didn't know you were here. And so I was like, I decided that, you know what, I'm gonna sell my baked goods. I'm going to figure out how cottage food laws work. I'm gonna figure it all out. And then I applied to like 3 different markets last year, and one of them was like, no, we're not gonna have you just because we've got too many bakers. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I got another email being like, no, we've got too many bakers. And I was like, that's okay. And then I got a lovely email from you saying, hey, a spot opened up. And I was like, oh my God, this will be my only market for the summer, but I'm so excited to actually try to get my baked goods sold. Because for a while there, it was just kind of like, I went 2 months of just being like, all right, who's gonna buy my stuff? Like, who would buy my stuff? And my boyfriend's dad would actually buy it from me and then take it to work and try to get my name out there. And it was really nice. It was really great to like start that, and then I would get like orders from his coworkers being like, hey, can I get some of these, or hey, can I get some of that? And then I was very excited last year to just be there every Tuesday, still selling so much of my stuff, just really excited to have a business that was mine.
Yeah, and this was Valparaiso.
This was Valparaiso Market.
Central Park Plaza on Tuesdays.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year. Yeah.
And a lot of the vendors there were just like the nicest people I've met. And all of them are like, you should try to be in this market next year. Oh, you should apply for this market. And so I was like, some of those markets are crazy busy. I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
So I was like, I will apply for the Laporte Market and the market on the square in Portage.
Okay.
So I got approved for both of those. So I will be there Sundays in Laporte, Fridays in Portage, and then Tuesdays I'll be in Valpo. And I was so excited to actually get like a yes, we want you there. And then I actually got a call from from Jordan over at Farm New Forage, and she was like, we're so excited to have you. Like, we're so excited to see your stuff. We've seen your photos. We've been watching you. And I'm just like, you've been watching me. And I was like,
you
what
got
does
lots of
that
fans.
Yeah. Like, what does that even mean? I'm like, I started this business last year. Like, what do you mean you've been watching me? But yeah, I guess there's been like other vendors that have been talking to market managers being like, you gotta make sure you get her. Like Mike from Big Mike's, he has been fantastic. He talks to other market managers and he's just like, hey, I want her banana bread at my next market. So that's
great to kind of support. Yeah, and I
is.
agree 100% with you that there are such nice
Yeah.
people at the Valparaiso Market. All the vendors are so sweet. That it's great how they support each other and sometimes collaborate on different things. And it's a great group.
It's really interesting to see just how much of a community the markets are. Because you think, I'm here to support my community as a vendor, and then you don't realize that the vendors are their own community, and it's welcoming. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, it is, and it's I mean, there's times where it's busy and you're kind of in your zone in your little 10 by 10, and you can't pay attention to what's going on around you, but then it slows down, or it'll be, you know, a windy day and you got, you know, vendors helping each other out, picking up
Right.
stuff that's blowing away,
Yeah.
or, oh, here, I got extra weights to hold this down,
Yeah.
or, you know, or
Or,
do
oh,
you
if
need
you
clips
need
to hold
tips.
your,
Yeah.
right, or giving you tips,
Yeah.
so it is,
Yeah, it's great.
yeah, it's great how everybody works together.
They do.
Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
I love it.
So just a year ago.
Just a year ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So take us back a little bit to, well, first, tell me a little bit more about the name.
So in terms of like gaming for people of my generation, I'm new to gaming would be a good way to put it.
Okay.
Being an older Gen Z, most people my age have been gaming since they were like 6.
Yeah.
Right. I didn't start gaming until I was 20. So pretty new to gaming. But when I first started, like I realized I am terrible at jumping, at like running in the right direction. I was just kind of like, I spent my entire childhood doing granny hobbies like gardening and cooking and baking and like learning how to knit and crochet. Like I did everything with like my mom. So when I started playing video games, I was at college, just trying to keep up with my brothers, right? Just like, hey, let's do something together. And they're just like, we're gaming this weekend. And I'm like, well, I guess I gotta start there.
Yeah.
And so every time I would like miss a jump or I would blow myself up, because that still happens to this day. I've been gaming for 8 years and I still blow myself up all the time. I literally would just say, ha, well, every time. Just kind of like blow off steam, being like, you know what, like it happens, whatever. So I would just say, ha, well. And then one day I realized I say that all the time.
That's your tagline, huh?
So, yeah. So I made it my in-game name. So it used to be, oh God, I don't remember what it used to be, but now it's Welp. And so I have made friends from around the country, from overseas, just playing video games, and they just know me as Welp. So Welp has become my nickname, and it's a very fitting nickname. Because even when baking, it's just like, oh, I forgot the flour for those cookies. Well,
yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of Welp moments. At least when I'm in the kitchen, there is.
Yeah.
Where you get done and you're like, did I put eggs in this? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
So.
oh, I forgot that spice. Yep.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So all of your experience has been kind of baking from home. You've never worked in a restaurant or
Well,
anything?
I did work in a ice cream sandwich shop.
Oh. Fun.
Yeah, when I was living in Arizona, my main source of income while I was out there was working at a ice cream sandwich shop. We made all of the cookies from scratch. I worked unreasonable hours. Yeah, I worked 9 a.m. to noon was like the bake day.
Okay.
So like we would come in at 9 and we would bake like huge vats of like cookie dough.
Wow.
Yeah, we would literally like we'd mix the dough and then we'd puck it out, right? So they would come out in like little pucks.
Okay.
It was all like manual labor, just pucking it out. And then yeah, shout out to Slickables, man. I love her. She's probably the best boss I've ever had. But we used to make the cookie dough 9 to noon, and then I would come back at 2 o'clock and work till midnight. Because I would also be the like front end staff for like scooping ice cream, making the cookies into sandwiches, baking fresh cookies from the frozen
You were
dough.
baking, assembling, cashier, all that,
Yeah. So yeah. I used to work long hours there, but I was able to pay my bills, so that's what mattered.
I love that idea, an ice cream sandwich shop.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah. They are very popular in Arizona.
Really?
Not surprising since it's hot, but
we need one in Valparaiso.
yeah. I'm actually really like sad that we don't have one, or that Valpo Velvet hasn't started doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's great that they made. I mean, because anybody can buy them, and
Yeah, you could
you
buy
can make them on the spot when
Yep.
they're already purchased or whatever. But,
Exactly.
oh my gosh, but making them all from scratch.
Yeah.
That it smelled so good there.
Oh yeah. I got very nose blind to it, like very early, and then I would I'd come home and I would do a few things, and then I'd start to smell that I smelled like butter,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I smell like butter. I need to shower. Because we would use, oh God, I think it was like 8 pounds of butter per like vat of cookie dough,
Yeah.
and we would make like 6 vats of cookie dough. So I would just I'd smell butter all day.
Yeah, and you're used to it. Like many years ago, like when we were first married, my husband worked at a licorice company, and it was like the sugar dust would just like it would be in his hair. It would be he'd come home and I'd be like, oh my God, you know. And one of my boys worked at a pizza place for a while, so I'd walk in the door and I'd be like, go change your clothes. I can't take the pizza smell. But
and you don't realize it
until
until
with you, right?
Yeah. I've learned that I'm already still doing that. So like I was making some garlic everything bagels last weekend, and I was done baking everything. I was fine. I went downstairs to go play with my dog for a little bit, and I smelled it on me. I was like, oh, I smell like garlic. Everything on me smells like garlic.
Garlic is potent.
Yeah. And then when I got in the shower, the moment the water hit my hair, the whole bathroom smelled like garlic, and I was like, oh no. I'm not throwing that much garlic around. Why do I smell like garlic?
I have a friend who told me that she dated a guy for a long time, and she said, finally, I just had to break it off. She said he was Italian. She said they were just garlic. She said he would sweat. She's like, it was like garlic came out of his pores. Oh, no. She said, I just couldn't take it anymore. She dated him for 4 years, and she said she just couldn't take the garlic anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It probably did come out of his pores. My mom used to make jokes about my dad, saying that his sweat smelled like cabbage and sausages because he's Polish.
Yeah. Oh, funny. Wow. So are you originally from Valparaiso?
I'm originally from Portage.
Okay.
It's technically. I was born in Chicago. And then at the age of 5, we moved to Portage.
Okay.
And then for college, I went to Arizona. I went to ASU. Didn't quite finish my degree because of COVID, unfortunately. Yeah. And then I had to move back here. But
where is that? Phoenix?
It's Tempe, so essentially Phoenix.
Okay.
That was the nicest drive to an airport ever. It was a 3-minute drive. Yeah. And I'm so used to the 1 hour into Chicago.
I know.
If that.
Yeah, even if you are only 10 miles away, it's still an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
I know, that's why if you're here and you have to fly out,
it's
like my son goes on the South Bend, and that's the easiest.
I've never flown on.
Oh my gosh, it is, yeah. In fact, sometimes, depending on the time of his flight, I've dropped him off at South Shore, and he takes the train there because the train goes right under the airport or right next to the airport. So you can just take the train, just get off, and you're right there. And yeah,
that's
and
nice.
And what do they normally tell you? Be at airports 2 hours before a flight, and my husband was flying out somewhere not too long ago, and so we get there 2 hours ahead, and he texts me 15 minutes later, and he's like, okay, I'm all ready. I'm all done. I went through everything, and I'm ready to go. And I'm just going to sit on my iPad and eat a snack for a while. But yeah, so that's very smooth. I think it's usually a little more expensive, the flights out of South Bend, though.
Fair.
So, but by the time you gas or to Uber and stuff to Midway, or I don't know, it probably...
Yeah. O'Hare is a straight shot, but it's long.
Yeah. And depending on the time of day, it can just be miserable. Yeah. Yeah. Luckily, I don't fly too much, so I don't have to worry about that. But yeah, I agree with you because I was in I flew into Glendale. Okay. Arizona. Yeah, and that area was so nice, and then coming back out of Tucson. Yeah. And it was just so quiet and slow.
Yep.
And it was like, wow.
Yeah.
This is what airport life should be.
Right.
I think Chicago needs 4 more airports to get it to that level. But
it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chicago airports are just crazy.
Yeah.
The traffic getting in there and then also walking around in there. It's just so crazy.
And one thing that food is always on my brain. I'm always super about food. But So I remember when we went to Arizona this last time, I flew out of O'Hare, and as we were going to our gate, I passed was it Tortazo? Rick Bayless, he's a Chicago chef. He's got Frontera Grill and real well known, like all kind of Spanish themed, or Mexican themed. But so he's got a place. I think it's Tortazo was the one that's at O'Hare, and it's like tortas. Yeah, and so I was so excited when I saw that, and I was like, ooh, coming back, I have to make sure I get one of those sandwiches. Well, when we flew back, once you go through like to get your luggage, you're on you can't get back there. And I'm like, oh my, I cannot tell you how distraught I was. I was like, but I need the sandwich. And they're like, no, ma'am, you can't go back. I was like,
that's something that I realized while living like in Arizona is like the Phoenix airport, all of the food is like on the outside of the gates, right? They're not in the gate. And so you can, grab food, grab this, grab that.
Yeah.
And then when you're through the gate, you're just there for the plane. Like there's no, grab a snack, grab that.
Yeah.
It's just the planes. And so it's like, being in Chicago, it's like, how do you, I can't even go to that restaurant because it's in a different gate.
I guess people don't normally hang around an airport to eat. They get off the plane and they're gone.
Yeah.
So I mean, I suppose it probably just doesn't make sense. People eat stuff while they're waiting to get on the plane that after, but I can't tell you how distraught I was.
But if you're waiting for like a bus or your Uber or whatever,
I know I was scheming okay, how can maybe I can find somebody going over there, give them money, tell them to get it, and throw it over the gate to me. My husband's like, okay, just give it up. You can do a sandwich a different time. But then I did go a few months later. And they have in the Sears Tower. There's a Tortazo, so I got one of those sandwiches. So. But okay. Anyway, that was a big long off the airport topic. Let's get back to baking. So, tell us where your baking skills come from.
Okay, so in first grade, I had bought a book called Cookies from Good Housekeeping. It was my one book that I was able to buy from the book fair. Because my mom gave me only a certain amount of money and I had $1 left over. So
I know, that was like the best day of the year. Elementary school was book fair day.
Yeah, exactly. And so my mom's always been like a cook. She was never a baker. I've never seen her make bread in her life. But I was like, I want cookies. I want sweets. I love my little snacks. So I was like, I'm gonna figure this out. So I learned everything from a book. All of my hobbies I've learned from a book, except for gardening. That was definitely my great uncle taught me that.
Okay. But that's very hands-on. So
it is, yeah. But yeah, I was like, oh, I even still have little tab markers from that day of just all of the cookies.
You still have that cookbook?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. It's torn up from.
And you made everything in there, huh?
I've made a lot. Yeah, there's definitely some cookies in there that I'm just I'm not gonna eat that.
Oh,
but
right.
very, very old-fashioned type of cookies.
Yeah.
I'm just it's not me. But yeah, I originally was I'm gonna figure out how to make meringues, how to make chocolate chip cookies, how to make peanut butter cookies and pralines and everything. I've learned essentially everything from that book. And then in middle school, one of my FACS classes was a cooking class. And so that's where I first learned how to make crepes and yeah, and I miss that recipe. I wish I was able to find that recipe. I had it in my little book somewhere and then it just fell out over the years. But I made crepe fillings and jams and we learned how to make risotto.
And this is all in middle school?
In middle school. And then when I found out that I could opt to take cooking and baking classes in high school, absolutely, I did so many of those. I took a bunch of art classes and business classes and I took psych classes, but I made sure that I had a baking class every year. Because I was
nice. That's nice. There was enough available. You take something every year.
Yeah. Portage High School had a lot of options for electives. So many. I talk to my boyfriend all the time. I'm like, oh yeah, we had that class. And he's like, we did not LaPorte. What do you mean? I feel kind of blessed knowing that I had those opportunities. But yeah, like I've learned how to make, like I first learned how to make like a standard like sandwich loaf and like pizza dough from those classes. And then like whenever it was like a sub day, right? Like our teacher was out, we would watch Good Eats with Alton Brown. And I still follow Alton Brown on Instagram today because he's fantastic. But it kind of gives you like a little bit of a fun spin on like, oh, you know, feel free to like trial and error your foods, right? You know, try to add more water to your bread and see how it turns out. If you know, take more out, see how it turns out. Like try these weird flavors, try that.
Let you experiment.
It's
awesome.
like baking and cooking are a science. Just play with it.
And they're something where you have to follow directions. You can't wing it, which I've learned. So, some stuff you can. Like I love to make soups, and I mean,
soups are
that's like so versatile. You can, you know, but it's funny because I don't really go from a recipe. So it's like when I make some, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. And I'm like, I couldn't recreate this because
like, I don't remember.
I didn't measure. I threw, you know, this and this and this. I used, you know, this leftover meat or veggies that were in the fridge. So, you know, or whatever kind of pasta I had in the cabinet. So it's like, I can never recreate them. I do kind of have started trying to write them down as I'm going. So I'm like, I can go back and at least, you know, have a base and kind of get close to it.
Right. Or at the end, if you're like, oh, it's a little bit too much this or not enough this, you know, okay, next time I gotta add this or that. But
it is totally a science. So were these classes all part of like family and consumer science, or was this a culinary program?
So they were all family and consumer science.
Oh wow, that's so cool that they had that.
Yeah, I am so glad that I didn't have to deal with the carrying around a 5-pound bag of flour in baby class. I don't know why anyone wanted to do that class, but yeah, it was all just elective family and consumer science classes. And then just over time, just more and more. I have shelves upon shelves of cookbooks that all of them have little like sticky notes or like tab markers being like, hey, try this recipe. Hey, you should try that recipe. And then last year, my boyfriend and I went to Disney. The food at Disney.
I've never been to Disney. I need to go. My niece is like a travel agent that only does Disney stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I need to get there sometime.
Yeah,
That's
you would
hear the food.
Love Epcot, man. Especially if you go during like any of the festivals. So they've got a food and wine festival. They do. And then they've got the Flower and Garden Festival, which also has a bunch of little like I guess pop-ups with like a bunch of different foods, right? And usually it's all like country-based foods. So like they've got like France will have their own little area with like French floral type foods and like
sounds so good.
I definitely recommend
French
it. But Italy will have a section, and China's got a section, and Japan's got a section, and England has a section. And they all have like their own little like, stand with like their own things.
I did not realize that was at Disney.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was kind of thinking, I mean, why would I go now? My kids are older, and why go on your own as a grown-up? But
no, it's so much better as a grown-up.
Is it? Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to move that up on my list now.
But after that, my boyfriend bought me a cookbook with like all of the Disney festival foods,
cool.
and it's like the official like Disney cookbook. And so there's one in there that's a Canadian beer cheese soup. Oh, it's so good. He has had me make it probably 10 times at this point, and I'm filling my whole Dutch oven with this stuff. But yeah, I've got like so many tabs in there being like, oh, I gotta make that, oh, I gotta make that, or like, oh, I remember trying that, that was so good. But yeah.
And you use the cookbooks and follow recipes, where I'm more one of those wing it type people, so I'm not,
It's okay. There's definitely some things that I'm like, oh, I gotta find a replacement for that. But
cool. I'm going to pause here real quick just to let listeners who are just tuning in know that you're listening to the Good Bytes by Chicago Foodie Sisters radio show and podcast. This episode airs 8 a.m. Mondays, rebroadcast on Saturday at 2 p.m. on WVLP 103.1 FM, and live streams online at WVLP.org. Also be sure to follow Chicago Foodie Sisters on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and follow the food blog at chicagofoodiesisters.com. And now back to the show with our guest Anna from Welp Makes.
Hello.
Hi. So why don't we talk about markets for a little bit?
Okay.
So you've been doing markets for the past year,
Yeah.
so tell us, when you go into the markets, what would people find at your booth if they see you at a market this season?
I guess it would depend. So I know that I kind of changed up like the list of things that I wanted to bring to each market. Because I know that the LaPorte market has like 3 different sourdough bakers, so I was like, I know I will not be bringing my sourdough loaves there.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. I'm like, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to encroach on anyone's territory. I also, there's scones and cookie people and like so many different kinds of things at LaPorte market, so I'm not bringing my cookies to that market.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do come to my LaPorte market, you will find plenty of cinnamon rolls and bagels.
Mm-hmm.
I love making bagels. If I'm honest, it's more labor intensive than anything else, but it is.
Is it really?
It is very fun to do. There's never like a worry like, oh, am I overworking this dough? It's always just like, did it mix in? Yeah, great. And then it's just kind of fun to like, you know, you roll it out, you spin it around your hand, you roll it some more, and it just creates the perfect like shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to make bagels.
Yeah.
But
What you talked about doing an everything bagel, right? So what
Yes.
are the different varieties of bagels that you make?
So currently I have a cinnamon raisin, I have a Parmesan crusted, chocolate chip, because I've got a lot of people that are always like, do you have any chocolate chip bagels? So I did start making chocolate chip bagels.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
and then I
that's
do a garlic everything bagel. So everything bagel seasoning has garlic in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've realized that's not enough.
So you can't have enough garlic.
So there's
right?
a little bit more garlic thrown on top. And then I do plain bagels as well. I've learned that most people don't buy up the plain bagels, but my older brother will come and find them. So he's a weirdo. He'll eat through the whole half dozen in a day. So
Very cool. So yeah, so if those end up left at the market,
I'll be bringing them.
you know where they're going.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
But yeah, so like the Tuesday market, I will be bringing my like English muffins, my chocolate chip cookies.
those are both amazing. I've had both of those.
And my sourdough loaves will probably also be at the Tuesday markets. Not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday. I didn't prep it last night, so I didn't make it today. So.
Well, this will be airing a week from today,
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So it'll be after the first market, so you might find it
All right.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, by the time you're hearing this. So
Yeah. Focaccia. I love making focaccia. It's fun.
those can be so pretty too. You know, I love seeing people make pretty designs on the focaccia.
Yeah.
And, so what is when you make focaccia, like I love that. Is that usually like little like grape tomatoes and stuff? Is it like a sauce that is added to it?
It completely depends on like what focaccia you want to make.
Yeah.
Because you can make like focaccia is just the bread.
Okay.
So whatever
And you can add
topping,
whatever to it.
yeah.
Because sometimes I get like where it's kind of a wet, like chunky, almost like a sauce, and I'm like, what's this?
Yeah, I mean some people will use like tomato paste. Some people will
Okay.
throw like the cherry tomatoes on it. Some people will slice up Romas and throw it on top.
So you can do whatever you want. Huh?
Yep, I make. I've been making some dessert ones because I like to slice them up pretty small and eat them for
I did have
breakfast.
some peach focaccia from somebody not too long ago, and that was really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought. Yeah, like sweets. You don't
Yeah.
see sweet focaccia.
Yeah,
very
most people
often,
don't think
so.
of like sweet bread until they think of
Mhm.
like cinnamon raisin.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing like a lemon blueberry.
It's like my favorite combination. My
Yeah.
favorite flavor combo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I sold out of that really fast.
Bring that to the
yesterday.
market on a Tuesday. Once for me, so I
Yeah,
can try
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, like I even made like like a blueberry kind of jam as well
Uh-huh.
that I like layer between the layers, because at the very end you're supposed to fold it into like 3 layers
Okay.
and then flip it, and then you can dimple it and throw whatever toppings you want on top. So I like threw like a blueberry jam layer in between the folds before flipping it, and then I cover it in that, let it rest overnight, and then I throw blueberries on top, and then I use a lemon glaze frosting.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds yummy. Yeah. And I love your English muffins.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so good. And are you doing? Last year, didn't you do snickerdoodles?
Yeah, I did pumpkin snickerdoodles last year. Yeah.
Those were so good, and they were just so soft. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What is the trick to that? Like, when I make cookies at home, they don't stay. You know, they like as soon as they get out and hit the air, they sit for a little bit. It's like they're crunchy.
I think it really depends. Like the pumpkin snickerdoodles don't have eggs in them. All of the air and the moisture come from the pumpkin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like the fluffiness literally just comes from the pumpkin, because whatever happens with pumpkin, I'm not sure how the science works behind that,
Yeah.
but it just makes things just kind of like that little bit of a sponginess, and
Oh,
it's,
nice. Okay. Yeah, those are very, very good.
Yeah. But the chocolate chip cookies, the reason why they stay soft in the middle is because I use cold butter.
Cold butter.
Cold butter.
Okay.
So when I go to cream my butter, butter is cold. I do not use room temperature. I don't use melted. I use cold butter. And that's something I learned from Slickables.
Oh, okay. What are some of the flavors you had when you were there? Did they make a lot of different flavors for them?
Yeah.
Oh, did
there were
Sorry to go back to this, but
you're good. There were seasonal flavors.
Coffee tea here.
Yeah, totally fine. Yeah, so she had funfetti cookies, chocolate chip cookies, double chocolate chip cookies. There were red velvet with white chocolate chips. Those were very good. But they were a mess. We used real red dye, and oh my goodness, it got everywhere. And then peanut butter. There would be like a seasonal like chocolate with peppermint stick, so there would be peppermint crumbs on top. So we literally would roll it in the peppermint, and then it would be baked, and it was.
Yeah. So some of your inspiration comes from what you would make at that place, huh?
Yeah. My chocolate chip cookie recipe actually is a bit of a change on that recipe, because I loved the way that those cookies always came out. I loved the flavor profile, everything. And so I basically took their recipe and then the Toll House recipe and smushed them together and tried to figure something out. And then I was like, I'm also really lazy, so I figured out how to do it with only like 2 utensils. So it's I use a half cup measurement and a half teaspoon measurement, and everything comes out perfect. And of course now I've converted that over to grams, because now I produce in much bigger amounts. So
Wow.
Yeah.
So a lot of testing.
Oh yeah.
Who are your taste testers?
My boyfriend is definitely one of them. And his dad is another one. But also when it comes to like the bagels, I have a friend from high school that she's always just like, hey, you should try this, or oh, you should make these kind of bagels. Or like I'll be like, what do you think of these bagels? She'll be like, hell yeah. So like I made the Parmesan crusted last week, because I was like, I've got a bunch of extra plain bagels. I gotta figure something else out. So I threw a bunch of Parmesan on top before baking it. And I was like, what do you think about Parmesan bagels? And Sydney was like, hell yeah. She's like, I might come find you. And I'm like, okay.
You have to call those like the Sydney special.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, anytime, she's so funny. Anytime she's drunk, she's like, you should make these. And so I've just like created a list, like what Sydney recommends. And then if she's not there to try them, my boyfriend eats them, or his dad.
Yeah, it's fun to be the one not making it and coming up with all these ideas. Like one of my son's friends, one summer he was just like, I don't know, going crazy making pierogi. And he was bringing pierogi over all the time. And I was like, oh, can you put this in? Because he was making like sweet and savory ones. And then I was like, oh, what about, and I don't know, I was just coming up with all these crazy ideas. And he tried a couple of them. And yeah. But yeah, nothing like fresh made pierogi.
Yeah, I know.
So you said your family is Polish.
Yes.
Is that a big thing?
My dad is
family?
from Poland.
Oh,
so
wow.
even better. He's from Poland.
Like first generation.
First generation,
Okay.
yeah. And then my mom's dad he's been gone for many years. I've never met him, but he is also from Poland.
Oh, okay.
And then my mom's grandparents are also from Poland.
Oh, wow.
So we're very
So like
first
holidays, there's
literally
pierogi everywhere, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, fun.
And if it's not that, it's tacos, because the other half of the family is all Mexican. But yeah, like when we say Polish sausage, we mean kielbasa. We don't mean like your hot dog.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, not brat equivalent, like
Uh-huh.
actual, like there's like chunks of meat and actual pieces of garlic and like everything in them. Yeah.
Well, it's fun too how with different cultures, like there'll be one thing, but like each culture does a different take on it. Because like you said, Mexican, I mean, really an empanada is pretty simple. I mean, it's the dough and the filling, but theirs is fried, right?
Yeah,
Where
exactly.
instead of like the pierogi are they usually boiled and then maybe sauteed or something?
Now that depends on where in Poland you get them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So like, my dad's from Kraków, and so his entire family boils it, right? So you get, they've got a sort of like veal hot dog, and they boil those, or they've got the pierogi where they boil it. And then my mom's side of the family is all from like Łódź, which is like the northern side of Poland.
Okay.
I know everyone knows where Krakow is, but her side fries everything. So like if it's, you know, a sausage, it gets like heated up on the grill. If it's a pierogi, it gets fried on like a pan. And so it like really just depends on like where they're from as to whether or not they fry it or they boil it.
Yeah, I don't. I used to get like the Mrs. T's and make them at home sometimes, the frozen ones.
Yeah.
I'd usually boil those and then I'd kind of put them in a pan saute, you know, just because I like a little bit of like little crunch on them.
Yeah.
And but then after you have like then I'm like a pierogi stand. I'm like I want the frozen stuff. If I'm gonna have, I'm gonna go somewhere and get them freshly made. And I at the beginning when I was talking about all my my recent good bites, the next place that I went to and I was like, okay, I can't keep talking here, so I'm gonna save this one for the next show. But it was a Polish place.
Oh, nice.
And it was Polish fusion in Orland. It was called Trakida. Does that sound? I don't know. It's a Polish word that means, I can't remember the meaning of it now, but it is a Polish word. It's like Tradycga, I think. Okay. But yeah, they had really good stuff. We had duck legs, which were good, and then we had I mean, to me, it's a schnitzel. Like my husband's from Germany, so any fried piece of meat, I'm like, that's schnitzel. You know, I can't remember what they called it.
Probably like
cutlet. And it was pork, I believe. And then with sauerkraut and everything was. And I had I love potato pancakes.
That is something I grew up
on. Those for an appetizer. And when they brought us a fried, I don't know if this is a big thing in Poland or maybe just certain regions, but sheep's milk cheese. Okay. I never had that before. Okay. But they had that as an appetizer.
I've only had that around like Easter. It's like something that comes around Easter.
I had it as an appetizer, and then also the schnitzel type thing that we got too had the sheep's milk cheese and mushrooms on. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And that was so good. Yeah. So that was I was excited to try some of the Polish food. I was actually visiting that one because my new book that's coming up is Unique Eats and Eateries of Illinois. And I was like, I need a Polish place in there. And so I was researching some, and I was like, go try this place. And really liked it. So,
you wouldn't be including all of Illinois if you're not including
right. I had one other place that had pierogies, but I'm like, I needed good. And that's kind of cool. I mean, they do like authentic, like traditional stuff, but then they also put spin on some of it. And
you said it was fusion, so.
Yeah, he said he tries to modernize some of the classics, so it's kind of a good mix.
That's fair.
So,
my little brother, my brothers all love their Chinese, their Japanese food. And so he got some frozen pierogi, and he's like, I steamed them. Oh. Because he's like, I know that, other cultures around the world, exactly, will like steam their dumplings. And he's like, I wanted to see how that went. And he's like, it is the best way I've ever cooked them.
Really?
He's like, it gives you that like fried, but also that boiled texture at the same time. A little bit of crunch, but
and
still
like
probably
just melt in your mouth.
Oh yeah. That's an
Okay,
interesting
I'm gonna have
idea.
pierogi on the plan. I'm not gonna be able to, I'm gonna be thinking about it for
Yeah, Pierogi
days,
Fest is
weeks
way
into
too
it.
off.
I know. I know, I'm gonna have to take a drive out to Highland or Whiting.
In Whiting, yeah.
Yeah, and load up.
Yeah.
Now, did I see you posted like over the winter season, did you do some markets too?
Yeah, I
Some
did.
events?
So, yeah, I had one at Chesterton High School. I
Okay.
had, and I will be there again this year. It's in November. And then there was one far off in LaPorte. Like, there's like nobody around in LaPorte, but like it was a very busy market for there being like not a single house in the distance, you know.
Oh,
But
those
it
ones
was,
about around the holidays don't
Yep,
get crazy, yeah.
and that one I sold out, and I sold out at the Chesterton one as well. And then I also did the Christmas craft show. I think that's what it was called. In Portage. It was a 2-day event. And the Saturday we were packed. It was so busy. And so I completely sold out of like everything but like the 2 bags of cookies I had left. And I was like, I did not expect to need to bake again tonight.
Yeah.
So I went home and I was baking till 10 o'clock. I was like, oh my goodness. And then of course it snowed overnight. I was like, oh no, nobody's gonna come out. But Portage came out.
Yeah.
They were like, this is our community, we're gonna go. So I still managed to sell out of everything,
Yeah.
but still 2 bags of cookies. And I was like,
And then selling out, it's like, you're like, oh, well, you know, you should have more, but it's like you're one person, you can only make so much,
exactly,
you know?
yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's been me these last few weekends. I'm like, I can only make so much. I've got,
Right.
only a few days to make all of it. And then I want everything as fresh as possible, so I try to bake everything the day before. Because I am not as crazy as some of these other bakers. There's no way I'm waking up at 2 a.m. to start baking.
So let's talk other food. I like to ask, there's 2 questions I like to ask guests.
Okay.
One is like your favorite food memory.
Oh no, probably. It's not really a memory that I have of myself, but a story that was told to me many times.
Okay.
And it's when I was 6 months old, my grandmother from Poland came to visit, and she was in charge of like babysitting me.
She feed you sausage at 6 months old?
No, but she had found out that I loved blueberries and tomatoes,
Oh,
and
okay.
she's like, I haven't dealt with a baby in forever. I was 6 months old. She's like, I don't know if they're supposed to eat solid food, but she's reaching for the blueberries. And so she fed me like a box, like probably about yay big, like a few gallons of blueberries. And she just kept, she's eating them, so I keep throwing it at her. And I'm like, that is classic. Like, that's exactly what I expect of a Polish grandmother.
I know I had a coworker way back when I had my first one. I worked in an office, and one of the ladies, she was just like, I brought my son and he was like 6 months old, and she's like, let me give him a chicken wing. And I'm like, no, he cannot have that, you know? And she's like, oh, come on, he can, you know? And then she's like, let me put some hot sauce on it. I'm like, no. All he's ever had is like breast milk and formula. You can't give him that. Give him some rice cereal.
I'm trying to hold that off in myself, because I've got a nephew now. And he's 3 months old, and I'm just like, I'm so ready to start feeding him. Let's go.
I know. I want to turn all my nieces and nephews into foodies.
Yes, exactly. Like, you're not allowed to be as picky as my brother. Let's go.
How many brothers do you have?
I have 3.
3, okay.
Yeah.
All right, where do you fall? You're the oldest?
I'm the second oldest.
Okay.
Treated like the oldest, but the second oldest.
Yeah. All right. And here's my other question.
Okay.
Do you ever watch like, what is that? It's this YouTube series where it's like he asks last meals.
Okay.
I'm blanking on it now,
I
who
have
the guy
no
is who
idea.
does it, but they, like celebrities go on and they're like, okay, what would your last meal be? And so sometimes it's like, their grandma's this or that, or sometimes it's like some, real extravagant meal from, this place in Paris and the Eiffel Tower, and whatever it is, he recreates it, and then they sit there and talk about food and stuff. And so what would be in your last meal? Throw out 1 or 2 things that you think you would have to have.
Oh, bruschetta. Bruschetta's got to be there. I love bruschetta.
Good choice.
I am a Italian foodie. If somebody's got Italian food, I want it.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So definitely some bruschetta.
Okay.
Probably a plate of lasagna,
Mm,
chicken Alfredo, just like honestly catered from a
yeah,
Italian
just like
restaurant.
a whole.
Yeah, give me everything.
Okay.
Everything but the olives and capers, I won't eat those.
I love capers. I don't do, but capers I like.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, give us some reminder again of where people can find you online and in person.
Yeah, so my website is welpmakes.square.site. You can also just make it easy and find me on Facebook just under Welp Makes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm at Welp Makes for Instagram, and you can just type in Welp Makes on Facebook and you can find me really easily. My website is in the bio for both of those. And then I will also be at the Tuesday markets in Valbo, in downtown Valbo. And then I will also be at Founders Square on Fridays from 5 to 9. It's a nice night market, I'm very excited. And then on Sundays, I will be in LaPorte, there in downtown LaPorte. What are those streets? Lincoln Way in Monroe. And that is a 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. I definitely recommend you get there early because wow, we get picked over.
Okay. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much. Make sure
Yeah.
you go out and check out Welp Makes. And thank you everybody for tuning in and have a delicious day.